Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode on Genealogy TV. Today we have the good pleasure to have Doyle Glaze with us. He is the creator of Cemetery Registry.us and he's going to give us a little tour. So Doyle, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so go ahead and share your screen. We want to see what this is all about because, we've been using Billion Graves and Find a Grave, Cemetery Census, and some of these other places. So I wanted to see what you've got going on here and what this is all about.
Okay, well, I started this about 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 2010. This was before Billion Graves and all the other sites that were out there. And when I was doing my genealogy stuff, I had difficulty finding cemetery locations. And I saw that this was a need for me to build a database because I'm very good with programming websites and databases. And so I'm going to do this to help people like me find cemeteries. There is so many great sites out there that actually have the information of the burials, so there's no need for me to reduplicate that because there's great sites out there, so it would be a waste of time. But I didn't find any sites that actually took the time to verify the information on how to get to the cemetery. So this is the site I built.
So the first question I have then is, your website is to help us locate cemeteries. Is it helping us locate the ancestors within the cemetery?
No.
Okay.
If I happen to know a list that has that, I add that into the cemetery profile just to help the user.
Okay. Fair enough.
Okay. So the main page more goes into the description of the project and why I'm doing it. So
you did a beautiful job, by the way. It looks great.
Thank you. This is the third version. So it's just more on why I'm doing it and what is the purpose for it.
This seems to be a passion project of yours.
It is. It very much is. I wanted something to do when I retired from work, and I said, this is a perfect opportunity. It's something, it's like Indiana Jones. You go out there, you read through books, look into old books, and you try to find these old cemeteries, and then you go out there and try to find them. And when you find it, you have the thrill. It says, oh, I located a lost cemetery. And then I document it and I share it so other people can actually find it.
So I was navigating around your website when you sent your initial email to me, and I was digging around, and it's pretty easy to navigate. I was just starting with the Find a Cemetery drop-down menu over there.
Yep. So I had a lot of people asking me about this, and the reason why I broke it up by a state, because these databases are so large. And if you don't, it makes it very difficult to actually search the database. And what we can do is go ahead and pick one of the two main states I've actually worked mostly on. And this is Missouri Cemeteries Registry. And I try to explain it really easy how to search. So it kind of gives you examples and a description of the search fields. And down here, you can actually see where you can search. You can search by name, also known as.
And that's the name of the cemetery, not the name of the ancestor.
Correct, yes. I should probably rename that. Name of the cemetery and also known as. And a lot of cemeteries I found during my time of research get lost because the names change. And then when you're looking for a cemetery name that's no longer being used, it's hard to find because they no longer use that name. So I see a lot of that. So,
well, that's good to know that you have an also known as cemetery.
Yep. So you can specify searching, however you want to search by. You can list only the cemeteries I have actually verified to locations or not. And if you don't specify that, it actually lists all the cemeteries. And right now we have 6,818 Missouri cemeteries in this database and I certified 210. There's a lot out there. And this number increases because sometimes I will find cemeteries that were not even listed in the databases I'm finding out there. So I would add it. So this number will fluctuate depending on what I find out on the internet or find actually searching.
So do you find cemeteries that are also like, little mom and pop cemeteries that are on private property and that kind of stuff?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I live in Florida now, and I was driving to relatives for Thanksgiving, and I happened to pass by a house that had a cemetery in their front yard. I says, these are the best ones because a lot of people don't know about this. So I
Yeah.
documented it, but I haven't gone back. I just labeled it family cemetery, but I'm going to go back and actually see who's buried there and take pictures and then upload it so people can actually, if they're looking for if they have a relative who's buried at this cemetery, family plot for the cemetery, usually by last name, I'll at least have an entry where they can find that cemetery.
So let's talk about verified versus unverified so that everybody understands what it is that we're talking about. Maybe you can scroll down and give us an
Yes.
example.
Okay. Well, here's the very first one. So basically, I can actually go in here and look at the profile. And what I'm actually verifying is not that the cemetery exists, but where it is located, specifically the GPS. This is what I focused on.
Okay. I didn't realize that. Okay.
So the information above is additional information. And as you know, a lot of cemeteries, especially old cemeteries, do not have addresses because you're not mailing anything to a cemetery. So if it's a real old cemetery, I will get an address as close as possible to the cemetery to at least get you that area. A lot of navigation devices in cars now will accept GPSs or even phones. So if you just use the GPS, I will get you to the center of the cemetery.
So we can click into that map and get a better idea of the roads in the area and
Yes. So
such.
click on it. Okay. So basically, when you click on the GPS on the Google map, it will it'll open up Google and it'll actually show you the pin of where that GPS is located, which is in the cemetery.
Fabulous.
And it's
So
actually at the location of that specific grave, which happens to be a cemetery that was relocated to this cemetery.
okay.
So it actually sends you right to where the cemetery is.
Okay, fabulous.
The idea is to get you as much information, phone numbers. If I can find a phone number for that cemetery, whoever is responsible for taking care of it, because sometimes there is no list of burials there, but you know your relatives buried there. You can, if I have a phone number, I give it to you so you can actually call them and ask for more information.
So now this is United States only, correct?
Yes, only in the United States.
All right.
Which is enough. At least
Right?
144,000.
You must be busy
Yes.
constantly verifying things. Now, do you physically go to every one of these?
No, excuse me. No, I wish I could. I do have a family I take care of and a full-time job, but I have visited 11 states and visited about 2,000 cemeteries personally.
Wow.
And a lot of those I have shared on Find a Grave.
I want to think, scroll down a little bit. I want
Yes.
to think there was another feature that I thought was unique, and maybe it's not in this one. Let's go find another example. Oh, wait, you got images.
Yep. So I post images, and if I happen to have additional images, I'll click. You can click on this. It will open up all the photos that I took of the cemetery.
Okay. Now, on some of these, I noticed that you had links to like Find a Grave.
Yes.
And other locations.
Yes.
Which is really quite handy.
Yes. A lot of cemeteries have their own websites. So if a cemetery has a website, I will post it here and it will show up as the cemetery website. If that website has their map, a plat map, I will have a link to it so you can actually see the map of the cemetery itself. Some cemetery sites do their own interments. They have their own list. So I would actually put it here too. So whatever I find, I try to put it out there as additional resources to help the user who's looking for relatives. Now, if it's not verified, it's because I have not verified its GPS coordinates. So until I verify where it's actually located, I have it listed as not verified. Now, I might find information about the cemetery, the last reported possible address where it was, but until I can actually verify the GPS coordinates, it's still listed as not verified. All right. I do have an example of one that has a website and Find a Grave link.
Okay. Oh, fabulous. The one I was looking for was it had maps of the cemetery, which I was like, yes, please.
Yep.
It was not the map. It wasn't a Google map. It was a map of the
Yes.
cemetery and where everybody was buried in there,
Yes.
plot A1, or whatever,
Yes.
which I thought was incredibly helpful. Thank you for that. And I also saw, if you scroll to the top of your page, I want to think I saw something that had to do with the laws in the different states.
Yes. Thank you for bringing that up. It's not in the actual cemetery profile, but it is listed in the top of every state if they
Access
have it.
rights. That's what it was.
Because a lot of people think this is, oh, I have a relative there, I should be able to go into the cemetery. Well, no, because the owner of the land can refuse access unless there are specific laws allowing you access to that cemetery. And if whenever I find information about a state that has, and this is about it,
Right.
basically, the the laws on access is based on property laws, not by state laws. So the state doesn't really make the law for you to have access to the cemetery. It's more based on property rights. So if we go to my list here and I go to cemetery access, these are the states that I have found so far. So if I go to Missouri, all right, this is okay. So this is specific in Missouri.
Yeah.
So basically, this is the law that I found, and it gives you the details. You technically in Missouri, you have the right to access a cemetery, even though the person is refusing you access.
That's really good to know. Now, of course, you need to go state by state and learn the laws for each
Yes,
one.
yes,
Um, yeah, that incredible. So, can people contribute to this?
yes.
How does that
Uh,
work?
I have an option here called Share a Cemetery, and I also have one called Help Find a Cemetery. So when you are in a list of cemeteries, and we'll go back to Illinois, if you find one that's not verified and you want help finding it, you have the option, select, there's a link in here to click a request to help find it. And I will take the time to actually look and try to verify that cemetery location and then send it to you so you can find it. So that's one way, by someone asking, I'm looking for such and such cemetery in this county, in this state, can you help me? That helps me add more information to the database. Or what they can do is they can click on Share a Cemetery. And this is an online form that gives you the capability of adding information like cemetery name, if you happen to know what other names they are. It also has the ability when you're in the cemetery, which helps me, if you click on this, will actually retrieve the GPS of where you're at. And that gets sent to me
Fabulous.
also. And it automatically fills in some of the information for you. And you can add additional information. And then you can upload images that can be added to the profile. And I do credit the people who actually upload the images, as long as the images are taken by you, not from
Find a
internet
grave or
sites.
someplace. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So I'm very picky about that.
As you should be.
Yes. I don't want to get in trouble for
Yeah,
posting
right?
other people's information.
I love that image, by the way.
Thank you.
Can you use this on your mobile phone?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Wow. Very cool. What else do we need to know?
So this is the desktop view, and to kind of help with mobile people, in the desktop view, you just need to hover over it. If you actually click on it, it goes more into details about the database and
Okay.
additional resources. I have, like, here's another link to Cemetery Access, Share Cemetery. I have articles, some articles out there that I've retrieved from other researchers for cemeteries, and then preservation guides that I found out there.
So if somebody, I saw you had to have a login to, obviously you would if you were going to contribute. Does that go on a database? Are we going to get on somebody's email list? How does that work?
No need to log in to contribute or to search. That's more for me to do administration. That's
All
the only
right.
reason. If there was a way I can remove that, I would remove that. That
All
does get
right.
confusing.
So you don't need to sign in.
Do not. It's
Okay.
all free. You don't need to log in. And even with when you share a cemetery, you don't have to hit the GPS option. If you're not in the cemetery but happen to be at home, you don't need to click it because I don't need to know where you live. I just need the information so I can start researching. The more information I have, the easier it is to find.
So I see there's a Facebook, Twitter, and I get, what is that? YouTube?
YouTube. It's a little small. Yes, YouTube. So I have a Facebook page, a Twitter, which is now X, and a YouTube channel.
I'm sorry. I'm going to call it Twitter till the day I die.
Yeah, that's what's still up there. And then this icon here, this is what a mobile view looks like, because on the mobile view, you don't have the menu on the top. So you just hit the pancake, however, what do you want to call it. And what you then need to do is you don't click on the links unless you want to go into that page, but on the icon, which then lists all the states, and you just pick the state that you want to see.
What does share a cemetery do?
That's
or is that the same?
That's the same form.
Okay. Okay.
And you can do this on your mobile phone, and I do it all the time. So if I happen to go to and find a cemetery, I'll go into the cemetery, take a couple pictures, use the GPS, and it emails me all the information. So when I get home, I have all the details. I had the GPS. I didn't have to write it down. I got pictures, and then I just add it to the profiles.
Very cool. Doyle, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Is I love a good passion project, and
yes,
I think the users will appreciate the fact that it's free. I don't know how you managed to do that because websites are expensive to run. So
not just websites, the software, the time I put in, the traveling. Yeah, I put a lot of money into this, and it's a passion of mine because when I tried to find cemeteries where I had my relatives and I have people who don't want to share that information, it frustrates me because it keeps me from my relatives. So I want to make sure the information's out there and people can get to it. It's out there. It's all over the place. And that's what takes me. Sometimes it'll take me 6 months to 3 years to find some of these cemeteries because you have to look at old books. I mean, you have to
sometimes you have to go trekking through the woods too, right?
I've done quite a few of those. Yes, quite a few of those.
Put some high boots on, pray you don't get bit by a snake.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah. Well, Doyle, thanks for all you do, and I appreciate your time today.
Well, thank you for having me.